In this video, we'll get a general overview of the Comic Machine platform. So in the world of digital comics, you have two basic variations. We have the flat comics, the most popular being Comixology, and also Marvel, DC, and Dark Horse, which either use Comixology's guided view technology or a variation of it. And you have rich media layered comics. And we have publishers like Madefire and Throwbent, and they're sort of on opposite sides of the spectrum as far as interactivity. And where the Comic Machine fits in is sort of smack dab in the middle of it. So in a flat comic, you're just basically taking the flat art that was used for the printed comic and then using it verbatim or importing it into a reader app like Comixology. And the reader is basically side-scrolling from panel to panel, but the art itself is flat. In a rich media layered comic, that same page, all the elements would be split into different layers. Each panel will be a different layer. Elements within the panel will be on a different layer, so you're able to actually move them in relation to each other. All the dialogue is on a layer. And not only that, the dialogue can be way more than what's on the printed page because of your ability to refresh material. So this allows you to have more interactivity, to have more immersiveness, and it's a much better, in the end, storytelling experience. So let's take a look at a sample of a flat digital comic. In this case, it's a Comixology formatted Marvel comic. As you can see, even though it's a flat comic, it allows you the ability to zoom in on each panel, which gives it better visibility on mobile devices, but also actually gives you a panel-to-panel storytelling experience, so you don't give away the plot. So I guess it's important to take a look at the adoption of digital comics over the years. So ever since the release of the initial iPad, there's been an upward trajectory for digital sales, and actually in tandem with the print comics as well. So it's actually good for both forms of comics. Even though we don't have information for 2015 and onwards, I think once they are released, I think it would bear out the same momentum that's been going for the last few years. So now let's take a look at a rich media layered comic, and this one is published by Madefire. And this particular comic is actually a lot of the content. Just the volume there. So as you can see, as you can hear, they incorporate audio into their comics. A lot of their content actually is not actually published in print, and just strictly digital actually. Although they do have reprints of other flat comics. So much more interactive than the Comixology version, but both digital comics. So at this point, let's look at the size of each of these comics. The Madefire one has 10 pages, and it comes out to 89 megabytes. So that works out to about roughly 8.9 megabytes a page Let's look at not as interactive comic from a publisher called Thrillbent. And I believe all of their library is digital and not actually printed, or there's no printed version, anyways. In actual fact, it's I don't think there's any layering in effect because none of the layers actually move in relation to each other. It's just a presentation of a bunch of flat comics. It's different from Comixology in the way that there's no side scrolling on a single page. There's a full screen, immersive feel to it, and it seems like all the panels and the pages are made to fit the screen. So let's take a look at a version of the comic machine. And in this comic, you can see there's layers presented. And in fact, the layers can be looped, like in the rain. Layers can move in relation to each other, in this case, to give you that parallax effect. Dialogue can be refreshed. Objects can move from the foreground to background. You can control the zoom. There's the looping of the bubbles there. A great feature of digital comics done this way is that you can have unlimited dialogue and text, which makes for better characterization. So if you take a look at the size of the comic machine comic, we have 70 pages at 97.7 megabytes for the entire comic, which works out to 1.4 megabytes a page, which shows a significant difference from 8.9 megabytes. And I think it's mostly due to the audio files, which represents a huge chunk of the size. So for that reason, we've decided not to put audio in. Among other reasons, I think audio represents a significant step up as far as difficulty of creation, and also it's a literary form, so it's sort of having audio fights with the concept of reading a book. But that's debatable, and but at this stage, because of the requirements of the app and because it's online, we've decided to leave it out for now. So initially, the Comic Machine was a publishing platform, but since then we've evolved into a more, I think, more engaging business model. So now our model is a social content sharing platform. And so if we take apart that label word by word, the platform, as before, it will be on iOS and Android on mobile devices, as well as the web on your desktop. The content part, the content will be user generated, which means in the rich media comics format or guided view comics or any variation in between. And there'll be genre tagging, meaning you can place keywords and put them into specific categories so that readers will be able to search out content that is classified. The sharing part, each user will have registered accounts They would have custom profile pages to be able to create it into a virtual bookstore. You'll be able to share your comics with everyone, which includes Facebook, DeviantArt, Twitter, etc. As far as the social aspects, will enable users to be able to comment on each other's comics. Also be able to like each other's comics, which depending on how many likes, you'll be able to increase your ranking. We'll probably issue awards to increase creation of content, which all comes out to an increase in exposure for all the creators involved. So as far as similar platforms with different mediums, YouTube has the same business model with video. Wattpad has the same model with writing. DeviantArt with creator-produced, user-generated art, and the Comic Machine would follow the same model but with digital comics. So the new Comic Machine 2.0, the 1.0 version was strictly a publishing platform that was funded by Telefilm. Here's a mock-up of the landing page. So non-registered users will still be able to read the comics, but if you're a registered user with an account, you'll be able to create comics, as well as comment and like other people's comics. Each comic will be tagged with a category and keywords so that it'll be easily searchable, and it's also will be available as an app as well, along with the website browser. You can also download the app in the App Store and Google Play. So there are basically four components of this new business model. On the front end, there will be the website browser on desktop and mobile devices. As well as that, we'll export the content into a mobile app, which will be available on iPhone and Android. Within this app and within the website, there will be the creation machine. So this will be a section. It will be online. It will be section within the site with there will be we'll have online animation software to be able to create the rich media comics. Essential to this will be the fact that it will be easy to use and easy to publish. There will be a social content sharing platform, a social content sharing component. I'm sorry. So you'll be able to publish this to your friends. Of course, you'll be able to publish within the Comic Machine platform, so other registered users can see it. But you will also be able to post it on your social media feeds like Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And within the Comic Machine platform, you'll be able to comment, like, and share other creators' work as well. And the monetization part, which will come later, as with most social platforms, will involve advertising, and also a revenue sharing component for creators. And also, as you know, for each user, the exposure will be crucial. So here's the overview of the creation process from the user's point of view. Number one, of course, you write the script. Number two, you create the art, whether it's traditionally or digitally. Eventually, either way, you have to export it, import it into a Photoshop file, and then export the layers as PNG files or JPEG files. Number three, upload the layers to the online creation machine. Once you have those layers in there, you can animate them and then generate the text with the text engine. So we will be producing a text engine that will create the bubbles, narrations, caption boxes, thought bubbles, everything. So there's no need to actually create it in the Photoshop file. Number 4, publish directly from the creation machine. So once it's finished, you hit the save and publish instead of just save, and you'll be live on the Comic Machine platform. So it will be number 5. It will be page by page publishing, so that you can publish your comic a page at a time and get comments and get feedback while you're producing it. I think that's crucial in the creation process to encourage the creation process. Number 6, you instantly share with your own user network. So within the Comic Machine, you can actually, once you publish it, you'll be able to share it with the other users, with any registered users anyways. Number 7, you can send out custom links to non-users. So each comic will generate a custom URL that you can actually share with people, even just simply by sending an email with the link in there. You can send out number 8, you can receive comments and likes within your comic. We're not sure exactly if you can actually receive the comments within each page or if it's just on a comments page, but either way there will be a community within the platform. Number 9, increase ranking and gain exposure. So the more likes you get, the more comments you get, the more you will increase in the ranking, and that will be important at a later stage where monetization comes into play. And number 10, earn advertising dollars. So starting at the top, we have number 1 and 2, write the script, create the art, Photoshop, export layers. So like I mentioned before, if you create it traditionally, if you create the artwork, you scan it in and bring it into Photoshop and colorize it. And if you create it in Photoshop, then you have the layers already as you create it. So this is just a screen grab of a Photoshop file of this sample page that we'll be looking at. As you can see, right up and down the right side of the layers of the individual elements, and you would actually just export. You turn off all the layers except the one that you want to export, and you just export each layer one at a time. So if we took it all, look at all the layers that are exported from that file. We have the background in focus, and the background in a blurred version, out of focus blurred version. We have the clouds as a PNG transparent layer, PNG 24, excuse me. Also as a PNG 24 is the spaceship in focus and also out of focus. And you have the vapor trail and the sound effects coming out the back, also a PNG transparent file. So number 3, once you have all these layers sitting on your desktop, you upload all those layers into the creation machine, which is the animation section of the Comic Machine platform, where you can animate the layers and also be able to generate the text that goes with it. So this is the creation machine that will be on the website and on the apps. In here, although it's not shown right here, this is one layer that's selected, and you have all the values that you can enter. But if this wasn't here, you would see all the layers that were imported. This is the artboard where you actually animate the page, and down here is a thumbnail panel with all the different pages in the comic. So here's the finished page. As you can see, the background is vibrating, and so is the spaceship. You can see that again. So there's a looping feature within the animation where you can actually loop 2 layers to make it look like it's vibrating or you can loop two different layers, like a smoke billowing or fire flickering. We'll also have a text engine. We haven't actually finished yet, so I can't show it to you. But this is a similar app on the iPad that animates or creates text bubbles. So basically, it'll work like this. It'll be a little more refined than this. Basically, you can just pull it around and then drag the pointer to wherever you want, whoever you want to be speaking. Number 4 and 5, you'll be able to publish directly from the comic machine, or and also you can do a page-by-page publishing. So publish directly, meaning that you instantaneously get published without actually going through the process of getting printed. You get exposure right away, hopefully. Number 5, page-by-page publishing, meaning people can publish a page at a time without actually having to finish an entire book. The value of that being that is the inspiration of being able to do something day by day. And it's probably essential in the creation process to get you motivated. This is the publishing page from the creation machine. It'll be more granular than this. Right now there's only 3 items: the title, series, and author. Will probably have writer, artist, among other things. We will just save and continue and not have it published right away, or you can save and publish and it'll be instantaneous on the creation machine, the comic machine gallery. So this is the gallery. So this will be accessible by non-users as well as registered users. So again, this will be searchable by category and by keywords. Number 6 and 7, instantly share with your user network, which means once you publish, you'll be able to be seen by other registered users on our comic machine network. Number 7, send out custom links to non-users, meaning you can send out, you can post on Facebook and other social media feeds. So this is the landing page of the public gallery. Once you click on that comic on the previous page there, if you click on a comic, this will come up, and what you'll have is just the details of that comic: artist, writer, number of likes, views, comments, etc. A short synopsis. You can click this button to read it. A large title page. And down here you'll be able to share it on your social media feeds: Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, etc. And below will be the comment section. So alternatively, on the creation side of the website, the landing page would open up into a editing menu for the details of the comic, or the metadata. Right here, so you would have the title, the series, the genre that you want to place it in, the writer, artist, synopsis. You'll be able to put that in here, and then the keyword section. Among other things, you click this button to start editing the comic, which would open up the creation machine. Save, embed, meaning embed it into another web page. So if any user or reader wanted to share the comic, this is how it would look on a Facebook feed. I think because it's not a Facebook property, it will probably open up a separate window to play the comic. But it'll be playable on desktop and mobile because it'll be HTML5 based. So 8, 9, 10, 8 receive comments and likes within your comic by registered users with accounts. Number 9, increase ranking and gain exposure. So within the comic, you'll be able to like it, and then based on whatever algorithm we figure out, depending on how many likes and comments, views, it would gain ranking within our platform. Number 10, and consequently will be featured more on the homepage. Number 10, earn advertising dollars, and that's through advertising. So the commenting, we're hoping to be able to do in comic commenting. Right now, there's when a page finishes an animation, there's an X button. There's also will be an inspect button where you can actually, if you click it, it would get rid of all the text and you'd be able to inspect the art, zoom, pinch and zoom, and all that. But also, we're hoping to put in a comment button where if you click this button, right here, it would open up people's comments on this particular page. So what is the status? So right now I'll show you what the platform is at the present and what we're hoping to achieve in the future. So right now it's by invitation only, and it's available on desktop and laptop devices. We'll have the community gallery that is viewable by all registered or by invitation only users, which are right now students at Max the Mutt College of Art and Design, and by email that we would send out. Eventually we'll enable liking and commenting within this community. Right now not accessible by the wider web as of yet, but eventually, once we hit a certain number, we will actually make it possible for these invitation only users to be able to post links on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, etc. Eventually, at a certain point, with critical massive content, we will make it accessible by the World Wide Web, and we'll also make mobile versions of the platform on iOS and Android. And the community gallery will be viewable by pretty well anybody. Non-users will be able to view and to like comics. Registered users with accounts will be able to comment on comics as well as like them, and of course be able to edit their own comics and create their own comics. So that's a very basic overview of the platform. Any comments are welcome. I hope you enjoyed it.